welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
My pleasure.
So you got a brand new record coming out soon.
Hopefully June 8th, I think, is the date.
Oh, so there is a date, because it doesn't say anywhere on the website.
Well, there's a tentative date.
A tentative date.
That's the date we've been told that we're shooting for. We're still like wrapping up like all the artwork and everything like that. So
cool.
Trying to meet deadlines and
I
all
heard
that
it on
fun
the way
stuff.
over today.
Oh, really?
I feel like there was more. I don't know if there was or not, but I feel like there was more of a conscious decision for melody and things like that. Was there?
There's a lot more harmonies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes the melodies probably pop out a lot more. But definitely, you know, I mean, I've never been afraid of melody, and I enjoy writing songs that are catchy and fun to listen to and stick with you.
What did Butch Vig do to enhance the process?
I mean, you know, really, in all honesty, we totally lucked out with him as a producer, and he's just, you know, such a awesome person to work with, and you know, we did a lot of pre-production leading up to going into the record, and I would basically go over to his house in the mornings, and we'd work on songs together for a couple hours, and we'd go meet up with the rest of the band and work on the songs together as a band for a couple hours, and just did that for like about a month or whatever before actually even hitting record, you know. Just really, we're very thorough with every aspect of the songs before putting them down.
Where did you record it?
Burbank, California, at a studio called El Dorado.
Cool. And this is before you had your daughter?
Yeah,
Things were
my wife was pregnant during the record making process. Yeah.
Did that change any of your songwriting, you think?
Not in a way necessarily I guess I can recognize. You know, I'm guessing sure it had some kind of subconscious effect on me for sure. But yeah.
Any of the new songs coming out live? Road testing the new material?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a tour like this is such a great opportunity for us because it's not really our show. You know, it's Billy Talent's show or Alexis on Fire's show. So we got 35 minutes to go out there and we can kind of play whatever we want because most of the people in the room don't know any of our stuff anyways. It's all new to them. So it's really awesome opportunity to play new songs, which we're excited about doing.
What are people responding to more? Do you notice from the stage? Can you even see out like what people are responding to more?
As far as
new songs, like because you know you write a new
songs.
record, now you're playing them for people for the first time. People are hearing it, and I'm sure you kind of want some feedback.
Yeah, I mean, so far the response has been great. I mean, it's awesome to look out there every night when we play White Crosses and see people with their hands in the air and start clapping along as the drums come in. Yeah.
Is that going to be the single?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
First single's I Was a Teenage Anarchist, which is the second song on the record. Yeah.
Right. Let's go through a few songs and let's talk about Teenage Anarchist first.
Okay.
Tell me about it. I'm just going to give you titles. You got to talk.
I feel like the title kind of explains itself, doesn't it? You know.
All right. Next is White Crosses.
White Crosses, yeah. Well, White Cross is the title track from the record, and when I wrote the song, I was actually living in St. Augustine, Florida, which is a small beach town about 75 miles from Gainesville. And around the corner from the house I was living in, there was a church, and on the church lawn there's 4,000 white crosses. White crosses are about a foot high off the ground, and it was called the Cemetery of the Innocents, and it was one cross to represent every abortion that happens in America every day. And there's this big billboard with children's faces all over it and everything, and just fucking totally disgusting to have to look at every day. And I would fantasize about veering my car off the road and driving through the crosses or getting out and just kicking every single one of them into the ground. But in that sense, too, I thought that it worked well as an album title because, you know, it's a little bit open to interpretation. I'm sure you would have never gathered that that's what
No, I thought you didn't like the cemetery for some reason. But no, but this is a lot deeper. It's good.
Well, yeah. So it leaves it open to interpretation. You know, I've had some people say, like, oh, is it about, like, the war, you know? Because I think white crosses and graves are usually associated with what... with that in a way, but and in a sense, you know, like I feel like that smashing all those white crosses. Had I done that, they actually took the Cemetery of the Innocents down recently. But had I done that, it would have been a real great cathartic release. It would have felt awesome, you know, just like if you've ever smashed a TV with a baseball bat, it feels really good.
I have not done that. But
well, you should try it. You know, just when you connect and that screen explodes, it's a great feeling.
I need an old TV.
Well, yeah, or look for some white crosses, you know, and just fucking smash them. But you know, for me, really writing these songs and playing these songs, it's that same feeling of release, you know, and that same feeling like that you just completely obliterated or destroyed something, and just so satisfying. So I thought it worked well as an album title in that sense too.
Nice. Are you playing piano on the record?
No.
Do you play piano?
Well, when I moved to St. Augustine, I actually started taking piano lessons from this woman named Helen Soleil on the island on St. Augustine Beach or whatever, and I'd just go once a week and. I went in there and I was like, look, I'm technically a professional musician, but I've never played piano before, so just start me off at, you know, like I've never touched an instrument before in my life. So, again, I'd go over there once a week and learn my songs, you know, and go to some recitals with all her other like
7-year-olds.
Yeah. No, seriously, no joke. And we had these things called play-togethers where we'd all play a song for each other. And she actually one day she was like, "You should bring your guitar in and play some of your music." So I did, and it's like me at her house, and she's an elderly woman and definitely not maybe a punk rock fan,
No.
and all these other kids, and I'm just like, all right, I'll go for it. And they're just like staring at me wide-eyed. But yeah, so I wrote the piano parts, but no, it's not me playing.
You should have shot a video with that. That would have been cool.
maybe someday.
Like, what's the acoustic song on the record? Ache With Me? Ache For Me?
Ache With Me.
Ache With Me? Mm-hmm. It's the first acoustic song I've heard from you in a while.
Yeah, well, I think that all the songs start on an acoustic guitar. And,
do they? You write an acoustic all the time?
Totally. And I mean, for me, a song is a good song if it can be stripped down and played, just you and a guitar. It can then be built up to whatever, but it has to have that to be able to stand on its own, just as you and a guitar song. But we actually ended up doing a lot of acoustic versions of the songs. Went in and recorded some while we were in Gainesville, so those will be making their way out there.
I'm sure free downloads or B-sides disc or something like that.
Well, we're doing a limited edition 7-inch for Record Store Day. Do they do Record Store Day in Canada?
Not really. There's a movement for it, but it's not really.
Well, it seems like it's gaining momentum in the States, but so we're doing a limited edition 7-inch of the first single. I was a Teenage Anarchist.
Oh, that's cool.
And on the B-side is an acoustic version of it. So
nice. Well, we're in Canada. No, I wouldn't mind. You're doing like a full Canadian tour.
Yeah, we're going to places we've never been.
You're seeing the prairies like no one should see the prairies.
Yesterday we had an off day, and we walked around the mall in Grand Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Way north Alberta.
Uh-huh, yeah.
What do you think of our fine land?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the shows up here are incredible, and this tour, I mean, the vibe backstage and hanging out with all the other bands has been fantastic. So, and I mean, for some reason or another, crowds have always just been receptive to us up here, so it's always a pleasure touring up here. I do wish sometimes that we didn't have to do it in, like, January, February, March. Maybe we could come for a nice June, July tour, but...
It's not much warmer, though. I mean, well, you're from Florida. It's very different up here.
Yeah, we got that thin Florida blood, so.